Hi leaders, thanks for watching the Weekly Connect for the second week in July. This week we are going to be teaching the kids that God can give us rest. When we have worry or stress, God can give us rest. And we're going to be in Exodus 14 talking about when God used Moses to split the Red Sea. So when you first come into your classroom, our opening game is going to be just a whole bunch of questions. We're going to play 4 corners, and the questions are all going to be about interesting facts on the Red Sea. So that's how we start off our day. And then you go right into story time. If you're the storyteller, you will be teaching obviously from Exodus 14. And like I said, we will be talking about when God split the Red Sea. So our science this week is going to be inertia. So we're talking about when something is in motion, how there has to be something to stop the motion because it wants to continue to be in motion, right? Or if something's at rest, it wants to continue to be at rest until a force comes and causes it to be in motion again. So that's inertia. And you're probably thinking, what does that have to do with this story? And I will get to that in just a minute. So we're going to really be concentrating on when God's people worry that he is there to give them rest. And you know, what could be more worrisome than you just escaped being slaves in Egypt? Moses freed you from the Pharaoh and all this horrible slavery, and you're free, you're walking across the desert, you're getting away, and then all of a sudden you notice that the Pharaoh has changed his mind and all of his people and the chariots and everybody's coming and following you, and you're trying to escape and you're totally nervous, and there's just so many of you, right? This is what the Israelites are thinking. There's just so many of us, and then they get to the sea and there's no place for them to go, no escape. And so they go there and they're complaining. They're saying, why didn't you just leave us in Egypt? You know, maybe we were slaves, but at least we were happy there and we had food to eat, and we weren't going to be captured and killed now by these Egyptians that are following us. And Moses tells them this. He says, do not be afraid. Stand firm and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. And that's, how hard would that be? Just be still? They're like looking at the sea and they're supposed to just sit there and wait. Well, we all know because we've read the story before, and we know that God is true to his word and he always does what he says he's going to do. He did deliver them. And we know that they did just have to be still until he said, okay, move, it's time. Go into motion. And so obviously he used Moses to part the Red Sea and brought all of the Israelites to safety. And then as soon as the Israelites were all safely on their side, the Egyptians were all engulfed in the water and all of them drowned, never to be seen again, just like God said, right? Just like he always just tells the truth. So that's what we're going to be talking about with the kiddos today. So we're going to be talking about inertia. Cannot wait to see. I know Tanya is going to make an inertia hat, which is so cool, but you have to balance it out perfectly. I was going to have that be one of our like our craft kind of thing, have the kids just make those, but too hard. So she's going to do it for her part, and that's going to be awesome. Then you have your blessing. Obviously, you'll have done your offering and story, however you do that, and then you're going to go back to your classrooms. So all teachers will go back to the classroom, and they have a list of after-story review questions. And I know that in the last couple of weeks, we've had a little bit extra time, but I have been assured that, you know, they're trying to hold to the 50-minute time period. So I don't want to add anything more to the lesson because I'd hate for you guys to be rushed and try and get something done and not have time for it. So this week, what I would do is, just in case they go over again, like they did last week and I believe the week before, in case they go over again, what I would do is hold off on those review questions, and you have a review game box in your room that has all of these games that you can play with the review questions. So I would hold off and do that at the end. So even if parents are starting to pick up, you can have them pick up while you're doing the review questions and game. And so I would do this experiment first, which is an experiment, and it's kind of it's an object lesson. It's something that they can all participate in. So what you will have in your room is you're all going to have at least 2 glasses. I might do 3 depending on what I can find and dig up from the house. And you're going to have tin pans that we've used before as well, toilet paper roll, and then you'll have an egg, and the kids are going to all get to go home with an egg. It's one of the eggs that we gave them for Easter, so it has like silly putty goo or something in it. Slime, I think it's slime. And so you're going to have that in your room. Like I said, you'll have at least 2 of these to try. But what you're going to do is you're going to take the cup and you're going to set the tin pan right on top of it. Then you're going to balance your toilet paper roll on top of that as well, and then balance your egg. And you're going to just talk to the kids and just ask them to look at the egg and say, is this egg in motion? No, what causes motion? It's right now it's at rest, and for something at rest to become to motion, it needs some kind of force to make it move around. So if we move this, remove any of these things, we can cause a force. That would be the force to make this no longer at rest and put it into motion. But what do you think would happen if I hit this pan that's balanced on top of this cup? Do you think if I hit this pan, it will put the egg into motion? And hopefully they'll say yes, because when you move the pan, this is going to jiggle, right? And the egg will go into motion. And then you can talk a little bit about gravity and just talk about how, well, when you put force on the pan, not even just on the egg, you put the force on the pan, that's going to cause the egg to move, but because of gravity, and it has something in it, it's heavier, it's going to sink right down and go right into the cup. So then you can have the kids try this. So maybe I should stand up. Maybe that'll work better. So you have this all balanced like this, and you can do it first and then have the kids do it as well. All you do is just hit the pan on the side. You don't want to hit it super, super hard, but you certainly don't want to just tap it because you have to go kind of fast. So you just hit it and it falls right into the cup. So you can have the kiddos do that a couple of times. Like I said, you'll have 2 in your room, so you can have them do it together. And I think that that's going to take a little bit of time, because I kind of feel like everybody's going to want to try and do that. And what you're talking about is how your hand was the force that put the egg into motion, actually put the pan into motion as well, which was at rest, and the paper tube into motion as well. So we're going to be talking about that. Then, like I said, you can do your games, your review games with all those questions. Then if you have time for prayer time, go ahead and do that as well. Next week we will be in Proverbs, and we're going to be talking about how creation shows us God's wisdom. So we're going to be talking a lot about wisdom. So that's going to be next week. So I think that that's all I needed to show you. I do in your curriculum, if you'd like to see exactly, if you want to watch another experiment of how somebody did this, you can watch that as well. But this is all you're going to need, and you're going to have it in your classroom. So I think you're ready to go for this weekend. So thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you guys all on Sunday. Thanks so much.